Good afternoon, welcome to another episode of the Meal Prep Tech. So, before I get started here, I want to tell you guys a little story. This almost didn't happen today. So this is what happened. Thursday, I went to GNC to get this. This is all I went to get. Some BCAAs, which are amazing, by the way, delicious. And you know when you go to GNC, they give you a bunch of samples, right? So I started talking to the girl at the front desk. Jesse was with me, Lucas, we all started talking. It was like a 20-minute conversation. In the end, she gave me like every sample possible. And she's like, these pills here, these are the best pills you can take. And it was a thermogenic. And she asked me, do you take thermogenics? I'm like, hell yeah, I take thermogenics. I don't even know what that is. First time I ever heard the word. But she gave them to me. I said, yeah, I take them. She stuffed my bag up. This morning, I went to the gym. And it was leg day. I'm like, you know what? Let me take some of these just to see what happens. See if I feel better at the gym. So I took these 2 red capsules from this thermogenic pack that she gave me. Had my BCAAs, I was working out, doing my thing. After the gym, I ate breakfast, we went to the market to get my produce. Before I got into the market, I got off the exit on the highway and my stomach was just killing me. I started seeing stars. I felt like I was gonna faint. We switched drivers. So Jesse started driving and I was in the back seat just like holding on to my stomach. Before I even made it into the building at the market, I was puking my brains out. I thought I was gonna die. I was like a minute away from telling Jesse to take me to the emergency room. So, the moral of this story, if you don't know what the hell people are giving you, especially pills, do not take them. With that said, I'm glad I didn't die, glad I didn't end up in the ER. We're gonna bang this banana bread out today. So, let's get started. Before we get started here, turn your oven on to 350 degrees. All right? Let's do this. We got some ripe bananas. Those things have been ripening up since Tuesday. We got some sugar, 1 cup of sugar, vanilla, cinnamon. What is this, 8 ounces? 5.3 ounces of Greek yogurt. We have salt, baking soda, butter, which I put in the microwave, which I should have left to room temperature, but I completely forgot. 2 cups of flour. 2 cups of flour. We have some raw cane turbinado sugar and some cooking spray. And of course, we have a loaf pan. So the first thing you're gonna do, I have a stand mixer. You can do this with a hand mixer, or you can do this by hand. This is probably the best way to do it, at least for me, because it's the easiest way to do it. Plus it saves you a lot of time, and I'm all about saving time, which is why I meal prep. So, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take 1 cup of sugar, we're gonna put it in the mixer, and we're gonna take the butter and mix it in there too. This is why I like to have a spatula on hand. Put all the butter in there. We're gonna bring this down and we're gonna turn it on. I turn it on the lowest setting. It has 16 speeds. I just leave it on the first one. So I want you to get in here real quick. I want you to look at this. It's gonna take a little bit to mix. You wanna mix the sugar with the butter you just want it to be consistent. You don't want it to be too grainy. You don't want it to be to not mix. You just want it to mix well. All right, while that mixes there, we need 2 eggs as well. All right, so we're gonna keep that mixing. We have 2 eggs. Let's keep mixing this. All right, so that's pretty good. So now we're gonna put 1 egg, and we're gonna let that mix. So now it's gonna get a little more creamy. Keep mixing it all together. It's gonna start getting real creamy. All right, you see that? All right. Once it's about that consistency, you want to throw the other egg in there. And while that mixes, we're gonna mush these bananas up. You can mush these up as much as you want, as little as you want. Sometimes I like banana like chunks in the bread. Today I'm just gonna mush them up real good just so it has that flavor. So I use this all the time. Just wanna mush that up nice. See, like that, if you leave like that, it'll get kind of chunky, but we're gonna mash it a little more. We're going mostly for flavor right now. And 2 bananas is enough. If you do 3, sometimes it gets too heavy. Looks like baby food. It looks like Lucas could eat that. Alright, so I want you to look in here now. You see that? That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. So once it gets to that point, you want to get some vanilla. I just like to throw some in there. Usually don't measure that. You can't go wrong with vanilla. I like cinnamon. I'm going to put some cinnamon in there. Gonna let that mix together well. Then I usually like to put the yogurt in. You don't have to do yogurt if you're trying to stay away from dairy, but I like the yogurt. It gives it a nice consistency. No, I'm just gonna use the whole thing. I don't want to waste any of it. I think it says like 4 ounces, but you could do 5. It's alright. It'll still come out good. Alright. Then we're going to add the bananas in there. That's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. This is it. There we go. You want to get all that banana in there. And you just want to let that mix too. So let that mix. While that mixes, we're going to take the salt. Or we're going to put that. Or we're going to put some salt in the flour. We're going to take baking soda, half a teaspoon, just half a teaspoon of baking soda. And you're going to put that in there, and I'm going to whisk it. You want that to mix well. Alright. And this is the last step. This is quick. This is easy. This takes 5 minutes. The last bread I made that I posted last week, I put walnuts in it. I love walnuts. And you can do this with anything. If you don't want a banana bread, just cinnamon bread, just don't put the banana in and follow the same instructions. Alright. Let's start putting the flour in here. And I want you to see how this, because this is going to be a thick batter. I mean, this is 2 cups of flour, so it's going to get real thick, and that's what you want. You want it to get thick. You want it to mix well there. Alright, let's add the rest of the flour in there. Instructions say add it real slowly, but we don't have time to add it real slowly. We got things to do. You see how that's getting thick? That's what you want. Get all the flour from the sides too. I'm going to put this down, and we're going to get all the flour out of the side. Alright, we're going to mix that well. There we go. It's getting real thick now. Then we're going to add the last bit of it to it. Easy. You see how thick that is? Yes, this is perfect. I'm gonna mix that well, get all the flour off the walls there. Alright. Let that finish mixing. While that mixes, we're just gonna spray this down. I know you guys see that sugar there, that's for the end. You guys ever bought muffins at Giant or another grocery store? And it has that sugar crust on top? Well, I like to do the same thing with the banana bread. Alright, look in here, guys. That's what we want. Once you see that consistency, you can start bringing this up. Put it on high a little just to get all of that off, all that batter. That's it. That's all you need right there. That's the consistency you're looking for. You see how thick that is? It's thick. Doesn't even fall. Real thick. Then you pour. That's it. As simple as that. It's right in there. Spray this really, really well. I always go heavy on the spray. Gives it a nice color, and it obviously comes out a lot easier too when it's time to put it on a wire rack. Alright, so we're going to put this in the oven for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Obviously, you want to run a knife down the center, a toothpick, make sure it comes out clean. If it doesn't, leave it for an extra couple minutes. Once you take it out of the oven, you're going to let it sit for 10 minutes, and then you can put it on a cooling rack. And then until it cools off. So when am I gonna eat this week? So this is obviously heavy on the carbs, which I need before the gym. So I'm gonna eat this every morning with butter. Carbs and fat, my favorite things to eat before the gym, which is why I eat peanut butter and jellies all day long, or every morning before the gym. But this is gonna be my pre-workout for the week. Just wanna get it as smooth as possible. Don't forget the baking soda. This is not gonna rise the way it should. All right, leave it at that. That looks all right, it'll settle. And for that crust, that sugar crust, you wanna just take again, what is this? Raw cane turbinado sugar. You don't need much of this. If you put too much, it's gonna weigh it down, and I've done it before. It weighs it down, starts to go up, then it goes right back down. So you just wanna take your hand, just take a little bit, just right up top. Not too much, not too little. Just enough to give it that crust. There we go. All right. That's all we need. Check it out. That's what you want right there. You don't want it to overflow. Maybe, what's that, 80% of the way up? That's all you want. 1 hour, 10 minutes in the oven at 350. 10 minutes once you take it out, obviously if it's done in the center. And then after 10 minutes, once it cools in this, take it out, put it on a wire rack, and you're good to go. So, it's as easy as that to make the banana bread that I post all the time. So, anybody said anything, babe, or no?
The shirt is
She was
classic,
yawning.
bro.
She was yawning when I asked. So, the videographer just woke up 2 minutes before we had to record. I had to wake her up. So, yawn, do what you have to do. Let's hear the questions.
It's not a question.
Let's hear the comments. Who said it?
Dylan.
Dylan.
The shirt is a classic, bro.
Oh, for sure. This is a Gordon Ramsay inspiration right here. Actually, Jesse got this for me. How many years ago? A couple years ago? 5, 6, 7 years ago?
Maybe.
And this shirt never fit me. It's the first time that it actually fits me, besides one time I wore it on a cruise. But besides that one time, it never fit me again. Until now. And I'm damn happy about that. Anybody else said anything?
Nope.
All right, sounds good. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. You saw on, when was it? Wednesday. I think I posted it Wednesday or Tuesday. I did a lot of new things that we're adding to the Meal Prep Tech. Every Wednesday, we're going live. We're talking about tips and tricks on how to meal prep, make it easier, how to save money. I spend $35 a week on food. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that as well.
Michael Smith would like you to please post the recipe. I'm gonna make that ish.
I'm going to make that ish. Michael Smith, I see you. We'll make sure you get that recipe. I'm going to start doing that too. That's another thing I've been slacking on. I was like, oh, I'm going to make these live videos. But in reality, I understand not everyone has time to watch these live videos, 15, 20 minutes every time. So this week, it's ironic. I talked to another person on Instagram who has a meal prep page in Belgium. And I reached out to her. And she gave me this cool app where I can put the recipe right on the picture. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. I'm going to try to make this easier for you. People at work too. Hey, are you ignoring my request for recipes? I'm not ignoring it. I'm just trying to make it work because I don't want to sacrifice quality. I don't want to put a crappy picture up that looks like it was just put together in 2 seconds. I want to make sure it's easy to read. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that as well. Live recipes, obviously. And I do this because I want you guys to see how long it actually takes. It doesn't take too long to do most of the meal preps. All my videos are 15 minutes or less. One was 18 minutes. All right. So, anything else going on there, man?
Yeah, keep it coming, my friend.
Who's that?
I creep on ya. Miss you both from Leroy.
Leroy, my man. You do
Mike,
your thing too, Leroy, and congratulations as well. Congratulations.
And Michael said, you the bomb. Keep it up.
All right, I'm the bomb. I like that. I haven't heard that since the 90s, but I say it at work all the time.
You're the bomb.
The bomb. I said it wrong. That's right. I said it wrong. He said it right. The bomb. All right. What else we got going on there?
That's it.
That's it? All right.